All right, and we're recording another episode. Hello, everybody. This is the Beige Wonder giving you my 2 cents on, you guessed it, Justice League. Uh, well, fans finally got what they wanted. The Snyder Cut is getting released. Can you actually believe it? They're like fans actually wanted the Snyder Cut, and we're getting the Snyder Cut, which is freaking awesome. Um, I, for one, am not a fan. I'm definitely not a fan of Zack Snyder's movies, but I got a cool Aquaman movie out of it and a wonderful adaptation of Wonder Woman, which I think doesn't get enough credit. Um, yeah, is very shocking to me right now. With a lot that's going on in the world, but just to give my 2 cents on Justice League, just to have some type of escape from all of this. Um, the Snyder Cut of Justice League, I think, is going to be the end all be all. There's been a lot of rage going around, Marvel versus DC stuff, people in comments, talking trash, trolling. But the truth of the matter is, man, just it's about fandom. I'm not a fan of the Fox X-Men movies or the X-Men franchise that Fox had, but there's fans. There's people that love that, and that's a niche. We all got to understand that comic books and fandom, which is now pop culture, started off as a niche. It was not the pop culture phenomenon that it is. Being a nerd was subculture. Now it is culture. It is pop culture. It's just like hip hop. When hip hop was a niche and it was underground, it was now it's mainstream. It's commercialized. It's everywhere. It's culture. And like the wise guru Kevin Smith had said, let people enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, there was a time when, especially when I was growing up, I'm not old, but I remember growing up when the most I got was Saturday morning cartoons. I didn't have what we of my generation. We didn't have movies of these characters. We had maybe the television adaptation of movies like The Incredible Hulk versus The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, Hulk versus Thor. We got stuff like that. Um, we didn't get as many TV shows about superheroes or comic books or graphic novels. It was majority cartoons. It wasn't really out there like it is compared to now. Um, so for me, it's about just letting fans enjoy. There's people of the Snyderverse that enjoys those movies. So, this man had a vision. He wanted to tell his story of the DC universe in a trilogy. So I'm glad he's getting a chance to see it through and finish it up and wrap it up before Warner Brothers moves on to whatever the DCEU will be. Like I said, I'm not a fan. Um, I felt like it had issues out of the gate. It was trying to catch up with Marvel when they had 30 plus years to get it right. Um, when you introduce Superman, and this goes, and I don't like giving the Boy Scout a whole lot of credit, but Superman Action Comics back in the day, 1938, issue number one, that guy was basically the modern day superhero that we all identify with. He kicked it off. Just like how he kicked it off in the 70s with Superman the movie starring Christopher Reeves. You know, that everybody followed that blueprint. Um, and I think that now it's really coming down to like, hey, you had 30 years to catch up with to do some type of cinematic universe, and Marvel beat you to it with not even their top tier heroes. Like Iron Man was maybe C level, if B level superhero in comic books, and now he's like the best thing ever. Like it's crazy when you really think about it in the comic book spectrum. Like Iron Man was not the talk of the town. He really wasn't as far as comic books go. But you make a movie about him and you do it right and it introduces everybody. Hey, why not? You know, and that's how I feel about Warner Brothers and DC Comics. They had 30 plus years to get it right. Like, but when they came out with Man of Steel, they tried to rush so much because they wanted to catch up with Marvel. Marvel had the first $1 billion superhero movie. Yeah, I mean, I want a piece of that too, but they put in the work. 10 plus years of work to build up a great story. Well, if you count the Avengers, it was like maybe 6 or 7 movies, but they put in the work. They built up to something. So Snyder's version of the Justice League was, yeah, it was flawed from the gate. They rushed it, but again, one man's universe, one man's version of what we know as the DC universe. So why not let him finish it out? I don't plan on getting HBO Max, just simply because it's not enough content up there, and I work for a living, so I don't really have a time to really like subscribe to another piece of streaming service that I'm not really gonna have time for. If I can find it on the internet for free, yeah, I'll probably pirate it. If not, then I'll go to a friend's house and just check it out when that time comes. But on a good note, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, or Justice League Apocalypse War, however you want to do it. Let me just tell you, people, that is how you do a movie. That is how you end continuity to start something new. DC Comics. If you can follow the blueprint of what your animated universe is, and you can do that and apply it to your cinematic universe, oh my God. Let me tell you guys, from the start of the New 52, which started off great, and then it became something else when it was really supposed to be about 52 books that was all in continuity together. The idea was perfect. Then it got into where we started making multiple books, and then it just fell out of whack, and it was just back to the same old regular stuff. I got to be completely honest with you, man. This movie was to me, that is how you end a a universe. You had a bunch of movies that followed with Flashpoint Paradox. They was all connected. They was all part of continuity after Flashpoint Paradox with Justice League War, and then all the movies that follow after those two was all interconnected. It was great. It was great. And the fact they were all connected and it led up to this one movie, to me, that is how you should have ended the New 52 universe of DC Comics before going into Rebirth. That is how you end a storyline. That was beautiful. It was perfect. I enjoyed it because now we don't know what's coming next. We don't know. It could be Rebirth. It could be them starting over completely. There's talks and rambles about a new Superman coming out called Man of Steel. Kind of funny with that within itself, but it's the start of something new, and I hope it stays in continuity. Um, the other thing is too, I think what DC Warner Brothers needs to do as far as like the DCEU is concerned, which is the DC Extended Universe or the movies, is do animated features. Um, instead of trying to hire all these high paid actors to portray these characters, just keep it animated and invest your money into making quality animation for movie theaters, whether it's CGI or whether it's anime or top tier, however you want to do it. To me, I think that's the best way to do the DC universe. The DC universe is godly. The characters are godly. You know, regardless of what top tier characters that you use, the entire universe is basically gods. So, like, these are men and women who possess abilities beyond the imagination. And I think it's time that they're showcased in that way instead of trying to keep up with your competitor. Focus on what makes you strong and what makes you great, and that's your animation. Your animation are is great. Batman Under the Red Hood was probably one of the best ones to me, and I own that. I watched that movie I don't know how many times, and I think it's great. The new 52 versions of these movies, again, perfect. No need to go any further. But not to keep rambling on, but that's my 2 cents on Justice League. DC Universe, focus on what you do best, which is basically your animation. Freaking great, man. I can't comment anymore, can't say any less. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, I've been the Beige Wonder. This has been my 2 cents on Justice League. I'll see you in the funny pages. Peace.